I wanted to get on real quick. If you haven't already heard, I needed to take a second and explain to you about the virtual queue information that has come out today about Runaway Railway. We knew that this was likely going to be how they were going to run the ride, at least for the first few months while it's still really crazy. This is how they've been doing Rise of the Resistance in the past. This is how they've been doing Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind over on the East Coast. So we aren't surprised. But if you're rusty on how to do virtual queues or you've never done it before, that's why I want to get on for just a minute and go over a couple of things with you. So if you want this information, go ahead and keep watching and I will explain in more details in the following slides. So there are two opportunities every day to get a virtual queue. One is at 7 a.m. and the other one is at 1 p.m. The 7 a.m. one does not require you to be scanned into the park. You can be at your hotel, you could be in your car, you can be in another state about to get on an airplane, and you can still try for virtual queue. So that's great. I love that. I love the queues where you don't have to be scanned into the park because it makes it really convenient if you're traveling in that day. We did that actually with Web Slingers. Back when Web Slingers was still a virtual queue, we literally got our queue in Utah on our airplane before we took off, and then we made it to our boarding group by like noon that day. So that works out really well if you know how to do it, and it's a great perk. The 1 o'clock virtual queue, you have to be signed into one of the parks at that point. So in order to try for a virtual queue at 1, you have to have scanned into either DCA or Disneyland by that time. Other than getting virtual queue, which I will go over in the slides moving forward, I will put a couple screenshots to explain how to do that. Other than virtual queue, there is no way to ride this ride other than purchasing individual lightning lanes, which I would guess will probably be similar pricing to the Rise of the Resistance lightning lanes, which are usually $20-ish, sometimes more than that, per person. So you really want to take advantage of the virtual queue. It's a free thing. It doesn't cost you money to get in the virtual queue. It's just basically a lottery, but it's also kind of a quickest fingers situation. So knowing how to go about this is going to help you immensely. Knock on wood, we have never not got a virtual queue when we've tried for one. We know exactly when to get on, exactly how to do it, and we've always got lucky. It doesn't mean that you always will or that we always will, but it does show that a little bit of experience and preparation can up your odds significantly in this regard. Just to be clear, individual lightning lane is different than Genie Plus. Genie Plus allows you to go through lightning lanes, but not the ones that are paid for on an individual basis. Those ones include Radiator Springs Racers, Rise of the Resistance, and now Minnie and Mickey's Runaway Railway. I think those are the only three that are left right now on an individual basis. But that means that if you purchase Genie Plus, you're not purchasing lightning lanes for those three attractions. And on the flip side, if you purchase for those three attractions, it doesn't mean you have to buy Genie Plus. They're two separate entities, even though they're both called Lightning Lane, which can be kind of confusing. So make a note of that. And then also realize that if you're starting in Disneyland, you can choose any time, schedule any time in that day to ride Runaway Railway. But if you're starting in DCA, you can only book starting after the time that you're allowed to hop, which starting on February 4th will change to 11 a.m. But for now, it is 1 p.m. or later. All you have to know is that if you've done Rise of the Resistance virtual queue in the past, you're good. You know how to do this. If you haven't done it before, then this may be a little intimidating. But if you just follow the rules and understand that when we say you're on at 7 a.m., you're literally on at 7 a.m. on the dot. Like, set an alarm for 6:58 a.m., get yourself all logged in, get yourself ready to go. And so the second your phone hits 7 a.m., I mean, we actually use like a world clock. One of us uses a world clock and tells the other one exactly when to refresh. That is the way to do it, because by 7 o'clock and 10 seconds, they could be all completely gone. And I'm not even joking. So this is serious business. You have to take it seriously if you want to be successful here. And that's why we're trying to give this information. One more thing I want to note is if you get a virtual queue, you can also still buy a lightning lane and ride the ride twice in one day if you'd like to. Thing, even though I feel like I'm giving away all my trade secrets and now I'm going to be competing against all of you for the best spots. If you have other people traveling in your party that have phones, a husband, a partner, a friend you're traveling with, your teenagers, and they have the app, get everyone linked together on everyone's app. And so everyone can be ready with fastest fingers. And then what happens is whoever gets it first, then the next person who taps a second later, it'll just come up and say something like, you're already in a virtual queue or whatever. It immediately knows. So everyone that has a phone available, everyone tries, everyone swipes, everyone refreshes and gets ready. And then the second it's time, it's just go time, and you just hit it, and then someone in the room will get it. That's the foolproof way. So do that, but maybe don't on the days that we're going.